ロサンゼルスドジャースのワールドシリーズ制覇において、山本由伸がマウンド上で見せた圧倒的な投球は、今も全米の野球ファンの胸に深く刻まれています。アメリカの地元メディアや野球解説者たちは、かのマウンドでの冷静さとピンチの場面でも崩れないメンタルを歴史的な偉業として絶賛しています。しかしシーズン中には相次ぐ故障やエラーによって目前で完全試合を逃すといった過酷な試練が彼を待ち受けていました。それでも彼はどのようにして全ての逆境を跳ね除け、ワールドシリーズで伝説となったのでしょうか。ここからはその様子を字幕付きでご紹介します。
Even as his numbers have been a little up and then a little down. So, yeah. All right. Then let's get to the one interesting game of the past couple of days with the near Yamamoto no-hitter. First, what is it like for you now when he starts to get close to doing this with how firmly you've planted your flag on the Yamamoto no-hitter island this year?
Well, I think it's going to happen. Right, regardless.
We know.
Like,
that's been stated clearly here, online, in print, in your dreams,
This
probably.
feels inevitable. What I told him today, actually, right, was that was the most inconvenient thing he could have done for me. Right? Because earlier this year, keep in mind, I told him.
That's right. Yamamoto lives his life to convenience you.
I told him, if you're going to give up a hit, give it up in the first inning. Right? And on whatever Saturday, as he's pitching this perfect game, I start writing the perfect game column. And even if it's just a no-hitter, right, you kind of make some slight modifications there. There's really not much to say that you kind of really need to be there for, because it's one of these kind of things that happens like once in a career for most guys. Now, I kind of have a feeling he's going to throw multiple no-hitters before he's done.
The new prediction.
I really do think this.
Well, one's not enough.
No, but you can just kind of overwrite it. And unfortunately, this was one where I felt I wish I was in Chicago, right? I wish I didn't skip this trip, because now you kind of have to kind of look for different side angles, right? And like the one thing that, I actually, Hiro, right, his interpreter, Sonoda, right? So last year when Yamamoto lost the no-hitter in Baltimore, in the last at-bat, right, one out to go, gives up a home run to Jackson Holliday. Now, Hiro said, right, and Hiro's very superstitious. He wears lucky underwear every time Yamamoto pitches. And Hiro said, that time, he basically, with 2 outs, he got ready to celebrate with Ohtani. And, right, they were ready to, like, jump out of the dugout when he got the final out. And he stopped taking notes because he tracks down the velocity and the type of pitch on everyone. So when I saw him today, I was like, what'd you do this time? And he was like, no, this time, I swear, I was taking notes until the end.
I did see this. We walk into the clubhouse today, and Hero's just kind of walking through, and he sees you, and he's like, comes up, he's like, oh, so close.
Yeah, right. And so, right, that, you can kind of tell that story from kind of that vantage point, or, right, I mean, obviously Mookie Betts talked to you guys. You had a nice story about that. How he kind of, right, he made the error that cost him the perfect game. So I think you kind of, in those types of situations, it's a little bit trickier when you're not there. So for me personally, it was just kind of more of a feeling as I wish I was there. And then also, as I was trying to write, my, soon to be 13-year-old would just not let me just write in peace. And that was very unfortunate.
I have a hot take.
All right.
I think once the Mookie error happened, it was better that he did not get the no-hitter there, because that would have felt, and I was not here for the Clayton Kershaw no-hitter with the Hanley Ramirez error being the only base runner in that game. But to me, as I was writing between the 8th and the 9th inning after the Mookie thing happened, it almost was like taking on a disappointing tone. It's like, yeah, he's thrown a no-hitter, but like this could have been, because to me, like the difference between a no-hitter and a perfect game has gotten really vast in the last, 10, 15 years, as no-hitters have become more common. Now, individual no-hitters, I think, are still obviously very special. But to be that close to not just the perfect game, but a perfect game in which he could have also set the consecutive batters retired in a row record. Had Mookie made that play, he would have tied that mark. It would have felt like that would have been one of the most historic games by a pitcher in MLB history. And so once that happened, and once you had the Mookie error thing hanging over it, I almost...
Yamamoto. For those of you who are surprised to see Yamamoto pitch at the end of Game 7, you may not have been alive, so let me calculate 24 years ago. Hey, there's a solid 25% of you who have no idea what Randy Johnson did in 2001 when he was with the Diamondbacks and they were winning Game 7 on a walk-off by Luis Gonzalez over Mariano Rivera blowing the save and the New York Yankees, who were going for their 4th straight World Series. May not remember that Randy Johnson started Game 6 and then came in relief in Game 7. But if you do remember that, you sure as heck fire don't remember a guy pitching Game 6 after a complete game in Game 2, might I add. 96 pitches, 6 innings in Game 6, no days off. It's not 3 days rest Yamamoto came in. It's not 2 days rest. It's not 1 day rest. Yoshinobu Yamamoto pitched in Game 7 on 0 days rest, and they didn't bring him in to face a batter. Yamamoto got the most outs of any of the Dodgers pitchers on Saturday night. Yamamoto came in and pitched the final 2+ innings to earn the win in Game 7. Obviously, the unanimous MVP choice for the World Series. It is impossible for me to properly. No, it's not. It's my job. Let me try. When you know that you've got a pitcher who doesn't need protection, it is such a warm and fuzzy feeling to a front office. The Blue Jays example is their pitcher Varland. You know you can throw him out every day. We had guys like that in our World Series run. You could throw Chad Fox out there every game. The view and the feeling of knowing that that guy's available, even if he goes 46 pitches, that he needs 0 days rest. We call them rubber arms. Starting pitchers just don't have rubber arms because they have built up their arm totally differently. Rubber arm pitchers, you can call the bullpen. They can be ready to go in 7 tosses, bring them in the game. Sometimes in the bullpen, they can do name that tune. I can be ready in 6 tosses. No. Tell the manager I can be ready in 5 tosses. Those are the people you know that can cover up your mistakes when you don't go to the bullpen fast enough, when an inning gets away from you too quickly, and it happens. When we're second-guessing everyone, how did you not have anyone up? Meanwhile, if you're managing the game, you can't believe that this would unravel that quickly. Rubber arm people matter. Starters don't have it. Definitionally, through training, through basic etiquette of how to deal with a starting pitcher in year 2 of a 12-year deal. But we had an inkling. If you're a detective and you were watching the 18-inning game and you read about Yamamoto being willing to go and pitch in that 18-inning game right after he had pitched Game 2. He had 1 day of rest in that case, but he was ready to go, wasn't used as Freddie Freeman walked it off in the 18th inning. That's got to be in your head as a data point if you're Andrew Friedman or Dave Roberts of the Dodgers. You pull him after 96 pitches in Game 6 because of your data point. You know that there's a possibility Yamamoto is going to be available in a Game 7 and that you are going to need him. After Game 6 is not when.
今回の映像を通じて、山本由伸選手がドジャースにとっていかに不可欠な存在であるかが再確認できましたね。レギュラーシーズン中、彼は防御率、ERI、や被安打率で優れた数字を残しながらも、故障や不運なエラーによる完全試合の喪失といった多くの試練に直面しました。しかし、彼が誠にその価値を示したのは、最も重圧のかかるワールドシリーズの舞台でした。特に第7戦において、登板間隔0日という過酷な状況でマウンドに上がり、最後の2イニング以上を無失点に抑えて胴上げ投手となった姿は、まさに圧巻の一言でした。12年3億2500万ドルという、投手史上最高額の契約に対する批判の声を、 自らの実力と勝負強さで完全に黙らせ、満場一致でワールドシリーズ MVP に輝いたのです。日本球界での沢村賞3年連続受賞に続き、メジャーの頂点を模倣した山本選手のポテンシャルは計り知れません。皆さんは、今回の由伸投手の神がカリカリ的な登板や、期シーズンでのサイ・ヤング賞受賞の可能性についてどう思われますか。ぜひ、コメント欄でご意見をお聞かせください。動画を最後までご覧いただき、ありがとうございました。山本選手のワールドシリーズでの活躍や来季の展望について、皆さんの熱い感想をお待ちしています。よろしければ、高評価とチャンネル登録をお願いします。それでは、また次回動画でお会いしましょう。